Good afternoon. I'm WCHS Senior Emily McCoy, and I'm humbled and very honored to have been named the 2018 Randolph County Youth Salute Leader of the Year. And it is my pleasure to welcome everyone to the dedication of the Randolph County Bicentennial Plaza. As I look out over this plaza, I realize the lasting memory that's been created for many people today and for many generations to come. It's a beautiful historical monument that many people who call Randolph County home envision to see as a lasting message to the world to commemorate our 200th birthday. Over 2 years ago, Mr. Errol Clem and others began discussing the possibility of a lasting memorial to honor our county at our bicentennial celebration. After many planning meetings, raising funds for the project, and several designs, the project has become a reality within weeks of the 1818 date of this area being officially named Randolph County. It was under the leadership of Mr. Errol Clem that the Bicentennial Plaza Committee was formed. That committee includes Jake Donham, Gary Friend, Owen Griffith, Scotty Harvey, Marianne Linkenstoffer, Jim Nunes Jr., Fred Priest, and Mike Wickersham. Will you please join me to show our appreciation to Mr. Clem and his committee for their efforts in making this project a reality. This group and others, such as the Foundation of Randolph County, the Union City Preservation Society, the Randolph Economic Development Corporation, the Randolph County Tourism Board, the Goodrich Foundation, the Liberty Fund, and the Randolph County Commissioners worked together to fund this magnificent display to honor our leaders from the past. The images of Indiana Governor Isaac P. Gray from Union City and Indiana Governor James P. Goodrich from Winchester are forever on this plaza, along with the words that tell our county's story. These men and their stories made Randolph County history read strong and brave. I hope as we observe the addition of 10 more plaques that will be added next spring that we know our story is not done. We as a people had strong ethics, a purpose to make our county great, and we valued our neighbors. Let the history books write about us from this day forward that Randolph County has more pages to add to our story. And let those pages be of prosperity, integrity, and pride of who we were and will be. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of today, and it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Fred Priest, who is a member of the Plaza Committee.
Thank you, Emily, and congratulations as our 2018 Youth Salute Leader of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able to and join me for our Pledge of Allegiance, followed by our invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's pray. Almighty, sovereign God, we humbly bow before you on this beautiful afternoon with grateful hearts for the opportunity to dedicate this gathering place, this Bicentennial Plaza. We recognize, O Lord, that this plaza represents 200 plus years of history for Randolph County. We think about the early pioneers who came here into a wilderness and established their homes, cleared land for farms, and built businesses. These early settlers over time came together to form churches, schools, local government, and so much more. Through their sacrifices, perseverance, and hard work, Randolph County has become the community that we know and love today. Our Father God, we give thanks to you for this legacy, for those who have gone before us and have demonstrated with their lives their faith in you, their work ethic, their independent spirit, and their love for their families, neighbors, and community. And so, Lord, as we spend this brief time here together, we ask that you would impress upon our hearts and our minds the importance of remembering our past as we press toward the future, seeking to be the kind of people and community that you desire for us to be. Let this plaza from this day forward be a gathering place for us, for all of Randolph County, now and future generations, May it be a place to meet for conversation, a place for special events, and especially a place for remembering our past. We ask, O God, for your wisdom, your continued favor and blessing upon us and this county. And we ask it all in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the most bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good afternoon. I am Riley Moulton, and I'm the Youth Salute Award winner for leadership representing Monroe Central High School. It is my honor to introduce the following groups. Would you please stand as I announce your name? I would like to first welcome our State Senator, Jeff Ratz. Mr. Ratz has represented Hoosiers in Senate District 27 at the State House since his election to the Senate in 2014. It is also my honor to recognize our retiring District 33 representative, Mr. Greg Boomer. Mr. Boomer has been our state representative since November 2013 and is retiring in early November. Mr. Boomer is currently the Executive Director of the Randolph County Economic Development Corporation. Mr. Boomer, please accept our heartfelt thanks for your service to District 33. It is also my honor to welcome Winchester Mayor Sean Byram. And now I will introduce the Randolph County Bicentennial Committee. Ashley Baldwin, Cian Bales, Mariah Batt, Melissa Bruchin, Austin Klein, Scotty Harvey, Mo Lennington, Ted Martinez, Jim Nunez Jr., Alexia O'Brien, Dustin Shannon, Blake Smithson, and Nicole Van Note. Next is the Randolph County Tourism Board. Scotty Harvey, the Director, Lori Comer, Monty Gaddis, Owen Griffith, Angie Martin, Jim Nunez Jr., Cheryl Prescott, Janet Sickles, Susan Simmons, Marla Thriewitz, Kathy Wallace, and Ruth Zicht. We also have the Randolph County Council members, Ricky Brown, Gary Friend, Max Holliday, Thomas Kearns, David Lindkensdorf, Ted Martin, and Bob McCoy. And finally, our Randolph County Commissioners, Tom Chalfant, Gary Gurton, and Michael Wickersham. On behalf of the citizens of Randolph County, please join me in extending our thanks to all these people for their service.
Good afternoon. My name is Abigail Alka, and I am proud and humbled to be the 2018 You Salute Leader winner representing Randolph Southern High School. It is my honor today to pay tribute to our sculptor and designer of the Bicentennial Plaza. Would Joshua Shepard and Dustin Neely please join me at the podium? Dustin Neely is the CEO of Neely Design Group. Mr. Neely is a Greenville, Ohio resident who designed and created this amazing plaza. His creation representing the history of Randolph County will allow visitors to sit and reflect, visit with friends, and walk back in history to learn about the people who have made an impact on Randolph County. Joshua Shepard is a sculptor and freelance writer who has created over 22 public monuments, including those on this plaza. He lives in rural Indiana with his wife and children. These are the images of our county leaders who rose to the highest office in Indiana leadership. They have been crafted by the fine skilled hands and eyes of Joshua Shepard. The busts of Governors Isaac P. Gray and James P. Goodrich are strong images set in bronze that will last for generations to come. Independent, rugged, self-reliant. These words resonate in the work of Mr. Shepard and Mr. Neely. Thank you, gentlemen, for your work.
Hello, my name is Emma Baldwin, and I am proud to be the You Salute leader from WCHS. It is an honor for me to introduce our next speaker. Mr. Michael Wickersham is a lifelong resident of Randolph County who graduated from Winchester Community High School in 1972. Mr. Wickersham attended the University of Evansville and earned a bachelor's degree in political science in 1976. And in 1979 was awarded a law degree from the IU School of Law in Indianapolis. He and his wife Julie have raised 4 children and have recently been blessed with 2 grandchildren. They have been very active in our community, our schools, and their church. Mr. Wickersham is the CEO of the family-owned and operated Wicks Pies, along with serving as a Randolph County Commissioner. Please welcome Commissioner Michael Wickersham.
Thank you, Emma, and congratulations to all the You Salute winners. For those that know me in the audience, you probably realize that I was never a You Salute winner, but I do have the honor of standing up here representing not only my family, but the county as the president of the Board of Commissioners. And on behalf of Tom Chalfant and Gary Gurton and all of Randolph County government, I do appreciate the opportunity to be here today and to participate in this ceremony. It's always wonderful to celebrate the completion of a project. This project was and is the idea of Errol Clem, and it was through Errol's leadership that has been completed and done so within budget. We are truly indebted to Errol and his team for having the vision and the fortitude to see this project through. And I know we've done this before, but I didn't realize we were going to, and I don't want to get off my notes, but I think at this time I'm going to ask Errol to stand. And I'd like to show our appreciation to Errol for what he's done with this project. Much appreciated, Errol. This is truly a wonderful project for the community, and it's a great example of public-private partnership. Along with county tax funds, the county appreciates the contributions and support to this project by our private partners. Those private partners are the Winchester Foundation, the Goodrich Foundation, and the Liberty Fund. And so we're here today to dedicate this plaza in commemoration of a significant milestone in the history of Randolph County, of our county. 200 years ago this year, Randolph County became the 23rd county in the state of Indiana. And today, we as a county are here to dedicate this Bicentennial Plaza. The plaza celebrates our heritage. We celebrate and honor two great citizens, Governor Gray, Governor Goodrich. We celebrate and honor our history and those early settlers that have made us who we are today. We celebrate and honor our cities, Winchester and Union City, and our towns, Lynn, Saratoga, Ridgeville, Parker City, Farmland, Losantville, and Modoc. And we celebrate and honor our county and its citizens. And so today we dedicate this plaza as a place where citizens and visitors to our county can come and sit, they can come and learn, and they can come and reflect. As with the other county assets around the courthouse, I commit to you that county government will do all it can to preserve and respect this plaza, and I would ask all citizens to do the same. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Reagan Hoggett, and I am proud to be here today as the Youth Salute leader representing Union City Junior Senior High School in our community. It is with my distinct honor to introduce to you Mr. Thomas E. Leahy today as he enlightens us about the life of Indiana Governor Isaac P. Gray, who was from Union City. Mr. Leahy, a graduate of Ball State University, has extensive experience with high school and college students. His work with the Advanced College Project and Indiana University began in 1986. First as an adjunct instructor of composition and literature at Union City Community High School. Upon his retirement in 1998, after a career of 34 years in the Randolph Eastern School Corporation, he took a position at IU Bloomington as the English coordinator. In 2003, he became the Associate Director of ACP, a program that has reached over 1,000 students. From 2007 and 2010, he served as the Director for ACP, providing coursework for over 4,000. Under his 3 years as Director of ACP, the program doubled in size. As an adjunct instructor in the English department at IU Bloomington, he worked directly with authors of text and has published instructors' manuals and custom readers. He taught W350 Advanced Composition at IU Bloomington for 10 years and has written and presented white papers for the Scholarship of Teaching and Learning. Mr. Leahy is currently an adjunct instructor for speech at IU East, where he has been since retirement in December of 2010, from his position of ACP at IU Bloomington. From his experiences as an instructor, he has seen daily the advantages of students receiving their education at all levels. His interests include community and building preservation projects, and is a prior member of the Board of Directors for Indiana Landmarks. He has served as the president of the Art Association of Randolph County and is currently one of its board members. Some of his hobbies include watercolor painting, reading and writing poetry, and staying a part of his community. Recently, Mr. Leahy has worked to establish the Union City Arts Festival in conjunction with Ball State University. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Ted Leahy.
Thank you very much for the introductions and from all of you. You've done a beautiful job. As you look around, it's a beautiful fall day. And so I thought it was appropriate, as we learn a little bit about Governor Isaac P. Gray, to take from a poem by Robert Frost called The Road Not Taken, because he took a long journey. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair and having perhaps a better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere, ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Isaac P. Gray became the 18th and 20th governors of Indiana. He was born October the 18th in 1828, almost 90 years ago, in Pennsylvania. At the age of 8, he moved to Ohio, educated as a Quaker there, and worked at a dry goods store that he later owned. Then he moved to Union City in 1855 and established a dry goods store there. He was a self-taught lawyer and passed the bar in 1861. His journey continued. In 1882, when the Civil War was coming to be, he joined the 4th Regiment. Later, he was colonel of the 147th Regiment. After that, the war, that is, he returned to his law practice in Union City and founded the Citizens Bank. His political journey took him as an early Whig in 1860 and 1866. He lost the nomination for Congress, but he did try to represent the 5th District all through that time. Late in the 1860s, he became a Republican and was elected state senator for the 5th District of Randolph County. During his time at the State House, he barred the doors when the 15th Amendment was being voted upon, and as a result of his barring the door, the 15th Amendment passed. Now, he became a Democrat and was elected lieutenant governor in 1876. When Governor Williams died, he became governor for 3 months in late 1880 into 81. He then ran for governor in 1881, and having offended some of his political constituents by shifting parties so often, he was defeated. In 1884, he then was elected governor for 1885 through 1889. And during his time as governor of the state of Indiana, he established the funding for the Soldiers and Sailors Monument that we so admire in downtown Indianapolis. After his stint as the governor, he returned to Union City in 1893, but his journey continued. President Cleveland appointed him minister to Mexico, and during a visit home to Indianapolis to attend the death of Governor Claude Matthews, he was stricken with a slight cold, but he was on his way back to Mexico City and contracted double pneumonia. As a result, he died February 14th, 1895, and his journey finally took him back to Union City.
My name is Maria Batt, and I am a senior at WCHS who will be attending the town meeting on tomorrow as a Youth Salute honoree in October. I am humbled to have the opportunity to introduce Mr. Dane Starbuck and Mr. Chris Talley. Mr. Dane Starbuck is an attorney and a native of Winchester, having graduated from Winchester Community High School in 1975. He holds degrees from Huntington College, Indiana University, and the University of Melbourne, Australia, where he studied on a Rotary Foundation graduate fellowship. He also holds degrees in law from Oxford University, England, and the Georgetown University Law Center, where he was an editor of the Georgetown Law Journal. Mr. Starbuck became a trustee of the Winchester Foundation, which was established in 1945 by Pierre F. Goodrich, and he serves as director of Liberty Fund Incorporated. He is also the author of several books, including The Goodriches, An American Family, Empowering a Legacy. Dane and his wife Bev have resided in Carmel, Indiana since 2000, and they have 3 children and 8 grandchildren. Dane continues to practice law in East Central and Central Indiana, including in Randolph County. Mr. Chris Talley grew up on Randolph County and was a graduate of Farmland High School in 1963. He earned his undergraduate degree from Ball State University. He was employed at People Loan and Trust Company, now Old National, in Winchester. He began as a teller, was appointed vice president, later appointed senior vice president, and was elected to serve as president and chief executive office until 2001. Mr. Talley was first introduced to Liberty Fund in the last 1960s when Pierre Goodrich gave him a copy of the basic memorandum. At Pierre F. Goodrich's recommendation, Mr. Talley attended a week-long seminar at the Foundation for Economic Education.
Thank you very much for that introduction, and we appreciate the young people being here and being part of this. This is what it's for. The plaza is for future generations, and I want to take just a little time, and Chris will also take time at the podium to share a little bit about the Goodrich family. As was just said, I researched and did work on the Goodrich family for several years before completing a book, and what it did is that I not only learned a great deal about the family, but I learned a lot about Randolph County and had gained a great appreciation for our forefathers and what they achieved to build this community. As was mentioned by Mike, Randolph County was only the 23rd out of 92 counties established in the state. So as we know Indiana, if you remember from your 8th grade Indiana history course all of us took, Indiana was developed really from the southern part of the state along the Ohio River upwards, Corydon being the first state capital. Randolph County, when it was established in 1818, went all the way to the Michigan state line. There was no Jay, Adams, Allen, DeKalb, LaGrange counties. Randolph County went all the way to the Michigan line, and so this kind of gives you an idea of how the state developed. The Goodrich family, and I saw JB here, he came up just, and JB is the great nephew of James Goodrich. The Goodrich family came here in January 1832. You might know, or you may not, the Church of Latter-day Saints, the location of Winchester in Randolph County was the largest congregation of Latter-day Saints in the Midwest, and they were located here. And the cemetery located out the Armory was established first by the Mormons. It's an interesting history. The Goodrich family was on their way to Fort Wayne. They got stuck crossing the White River out west of here, and Rebecca Purse Goodrich, frustrated having traveled 6 weeks from Blacksburg, Virginia, with 11 children, told them that one swamp's as good as another, we'll just stay put. So that was how the Goodrich family ended up being in Winchester. It's really a remarkable story when you think about how this county was established, primarily by pioneers and settlers from North Carolina, Virginia, other eastern states. In 1860, there were 26,000 people in the county, Randolph County, about what our population is today. I thought that was an interesting fact. There are certain milestones that are certainly notable. This county has devoted and contributed tremendously in areas such as government and politics, military, commerce, education. I thought I'd mention just a few. Nearly 2,400 men and women fought from Randolph County in the American Civil War, 52 of whom were African American. I thought that was an outstanding figure when you think of a county of 26,000, nearly 1 out of every 10 went to fight for the Union cause. Another interesting fact that you may know is the Union Literary Institute is based south of Lynn. It was the first school to provide schooling for African Americans and women in this area. Actually, free blacks came from the South to be educated at the Union Literary Institute. And in fact, the first U.S. Senator of the United States was graduated from the Union Literary Institute from the state of Mississippi. Other accomplishments in the state include, as Ted referenced and Mike both, the commerce. I think it was so interesting how Randolph County and all of eastern Indiana was dramatically changed as a result of the natural gas find of the late 1880s and early 1890s. If you look around you on the buildings around the circle or around the square here in Union City and other towns here in Randolph County, you'll notice that the buildings almost all were built around the turn of the century. And that was due largely because of what natural gas did in bringing industry to the county. Primarily, the glass industry was a predominant one. Also, the railroads in the 1880s and 1890s, Union City was a main passageway for 5 different railroads that crossed through Union City. Regarding Governor Goodrich, James Goodrich was born in 1864, one of 5 brothers. He was very much involved with government and politics from early on. He was Randolph County Republican chairman. He became state chairman of the Republican Party in 1901 and remained chairman for the next 10 years. He was on the board of the National Republican Committee, and in 1916 was elected the 28th governor of the state of Indiana and remained in that position for 1921. He was known as the war governor because World War I was fought during the tenure of his time as governor. Another interesting fact, and James Goodrich, one of his closest friends was Teddy Roosevelt. And if you know a little bit about the county, we've been visited by 4 different presidents. Teddy Roosevelt actually spoke from the side here in 1900, October 1900, and there were 10,000 local residents and citizens who came to hear him speak. Other presidents who have come to Randolph County, and specifically Winchester, include Benjamin Harrison, Herbert Hoover, and William Howard Taft. Governor Goodrich was really a remarkable entrepreneur in addition to being a very successful governor. During his time as governor, he established the Highway Commission, the Commerce Commission, and the Banking Commission. He also, there were more Indiana state parks established during the time period that Governor Goodrich was governor than any other governor. I don't have time to go on too much longer, but I also would like to echo and thank Errol Clem and the Bicentennial Committee. My hope is that this will be a gathering place for future generations to come to and reflect upon the remarkable history of our county. It's truly an eventful day, and again, I want to thank all those on the committee and those who were so helpful in raising the funds and making this happen. And at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Chris to continue on telling the story of the Goodrich family. Chris?
Thank you, Dane. Thank you, Emily, for that nice introduction. And I join with those before me in expressing the appreciation for the involvement of all of the schools in the county and for the kind of representation you have for the next generations coming. So thank you all very much. Before I start, I'd also like to give my sense of appreciation and thanks to Errol Clem. I've spent many hours over the past couple of years talking with Errol about this project, and without his leadership and his tenacity and his persistence, I don't think it would have come to fruition. So Errol, on behalf of, as has been said before, thank you very much for leading this thing. My role here is very quickly to share with you a bit about the foundations, and it's the origin of that philanthropic capital that started right here in Randolph County. As alluded to earlier by Emily, the Winchester Foundation is the first of those that were established by Pierre Goodrich under his leadership at the People's Loan and Trust Company when he and the board of directors established it in 1945. Following that experiment in philanthropy for Mr. Goodrich and the bank, he formed a foundation called Liberty Fund. Liberty Fund is now headquartered in Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'll explain just a bit more about that in a minute. And following that foundation, in the mid-1960s, 1965 to be exact, what is now the Pierre F. and Eda Goodrich Foundation was established. So this trilogy of foundations is indeed delighted to have had the opportunity, and thanks Errol for his encouragement in considering this, to provide some of the philanthropy, to provide some of the capital to support this fine project. I came to know Mr. Goodrich when I worked for him at the bank in the late 60s and early 70s. Of course, came to know him as a man of significant leadership, significant management skills. But more than that, I came to know him as a man of tremendous intellectual curiosity, which sparked my curiosity. And under his leadership, he set me on a path that led to a position with the Liberty Fund for the past 15 years or so as its president and CEO. The Liberty Fund is the flagship organization of these three foundations, though they operate similarly in that they all are concerned in representing his philanthropy and the Goodrich family philanthropy. They all operate with his concern about education in a free society. When I was thinking about what I might say, I looked back at the Indiana Constitution of 1816. Could have looked at the one of 1851, I guess, which is what we're currently under, but they're similar in this regard. And they're similar to the constitutions of many states in that era. They all refer or reference the principles in the Bill of Rights and the founding principles represented through the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That of individual liberty, the sanctity of private property, a Republican, small r, style limited government with decentralized power, which was most concerning to our founders as they gave thought to the principles upon which this country should be founded and run. Liberty Fund was created by Mr. Goodrich to pursue education and, in a sentence, to promote the study of the ideal of a society of free and responsible individuals. So that incorporates, in that broad statement, the principles of the Bill of Rights, that of individual liberty, individual responsibility, the rule of law, free markets, private property rights, and limited government. These three foundations would not have been possible had it not been for the entrepreneurial spirit of the Goodrich family, led by, as Dane noted, Governor Goodrich in the late 1800s. Through his leadership and the growth of his companies, those have all now been sold off, and that philanthropic capital represented in the three foundations that I've been talking about was called upon to provide some support for this fine project. We're delighted to have had that opportunity. I'm pleased to have the opportunity to be here and represent those foundations and their support, and I wish you the very best in this project. I think it indeed will be a gathering spot in years to come where one can reflect on the growth and the economic success from this part of the state. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Chandler Howell, and I'll be attending the Youth Salute Town Meeting on tomorrow, representing Monroe Central High School. For a project of the magnitude of this plaza to come to completion, it took many individuals who worked together as a team. This historical monument is the hard work of many people, but the Tourism and Visitors Bureau, led by Miss Scotty Harvey, was the starting point in both funding and planning. I am honored to welcome Miss Harvey to the podium.
It has been an honor to have you present at today's dedication event. Your participation today shows that we have a community that cares about the past, the present, and the future. We are committed to make this plaza a place that all who live here and all who visit may be positively inspired to play, learn, interact, relax, and gather together. Our program will close out with Miss Cindy Slick sharing the Bicentennial song, which was written especially for our community. Again, thank you for your presence today.
Can you turn the volume up on your phone? There we go. Sun shines down on the square tonight. What a happy hometown scene. Little bit of paradise. Tell you what I mean. Winchester Speedway is the world's fastest half mile. Stop by and see our racing style. And on the square for all to see, Town Square Cinema even has 3D. Come one, come all, now that you know, come see a show. Did you know, did you know, can't hold it back anymore. Did you know what our town has in store? We welcome each and everyone. Bring the visitors on. Winchester's where I want to stay. If gold and silver are the things that bring you round, you'll find all you need when you shop at Silvertown. It's time to see what's here for you. Our hometown pride, red, white, and blue. Something for all to do and see. So come and see. Did you know? Gotta go to Mrs. Wicks to try sugar cream. What a dream! It's our very own state pie. How about our band, the pride of state? Let the force play on. If you like chocolate, you should taste some from Gisley. The chocolate mousse for lunch, or Wilson wine sold by the case. The flying saucer for some pizza and some gas. Randolph County Bicentennial, this year will be a blast. You should know, we're utilize renewable energy, and our schools, they're so proud of our educational offering. Take the back road to the good life. I call it home. Winchester, Randolph County, happy birthday.
That concludes our program for today. Again, thank you so very much for coming.